The head coach of the Buckeyes, Kevin McGuff, the 2024 Big Ten Coach of the Year in his 12 seasons, says we are good enough, but we are not consistent enough. Looking for that today. Terry Morin, same thing could be said about her. She's trying to lead the Hoosiers to their 10th straight 20-win season here in Bloomington. Ohio State will start out with the basketball. They've had double-digit fourth-quarter leads the last two games against Minnesota and Iowa. Both went to overtime. They want a quick start as Chance Gray misfiring from three to start it off.
And the best part about the defense for Indiana,
finish that thought
too soon. Yeah, I gotta fix that thought later. There we go, the steal to score.
Jelani Cambridge.
5 ball turnovers. That's what Ohio State does best. They get the steals, keep it live, and convert on the other end.
Ava, they are 7th in the nation in steals per game, 13 per contest. That defines this Ohio State team, scoring off turnovers, being as disruptive as possible. Cambridge coming off 29 points, a Big Ten high, and that allows them to set up in the full court pressure. Garzon taking it out. It's the 5 stripling throwing it cross court. No problems there for Indiana.
Exactly. You see that height that they play with the big up top and receives the ball.
How did Cambridge get matched up there on Stripling? That's something Ohio State is going to have to try and avoid. Stripling having an outstanding stretch since moving into the starting lineup 9 games ago. Agent Petty, the soft touch off the spin.
And you're going to see the Hoosiers break down on the inside defensively, try to clog the paint. I love the way Asia just completely split 3 defenders to get to the basket.
Up ahead, Garzon.
Going up against Ohio State is what they look like off the first few plays, having to deal with that press, and Indiana's been outstanding.
McMahon tried to bully her way to the rim. Count it! She had just 5 points at the half, was 1 of 10 from the floor at one point. She said, I just play better when I'm mad, and I got angry. And we saw that Cody McMahon in the second half with a hot start for her. Here's more McNeil again. They've just been slashing to the baskets. Zone defense here for Indiana, looks like. McMahon thought about that 3, 5 seconds to shoot. Petty decides against a long 2. Cambridge has to loft it, and she will hit from long range.
She is just absolutely talented, a calming factor offensively, as we talked about. Her ability just to be able to score from just about anywhere.
One of the best freshmen in the country. Indiana slicing and dicing Ohio State again.
This press for Ohio State is so frenetic and top-heavy. Once you get that throw over, it's a wrap, and Indiana has been exposing them every single time.
Got a track meet to start here. Jelani Cambridge on the other side, high off the glass.
Yeah, if you like scoring, tune in.
Stick with us here. I think we're going to see a lot of it. Here's Parrish, hand in her face. She counters with a 3-point play of her own.
Every single time, because then you're going up against 2 defenders, 3-on-2 here, and you see Chloe McNeil score here, but that has worked every single time for the Hoosiers.
One of the most lethal threats in the conference. There's Jelani Cambridge, the freshman, turning it over.
Remember for sure, Iowa back when they had Caitlin Clark was a team that they could not press, and Indiana has proven that Ohio State might need to back it up and get it in the half court.
Showing poise from the get-go. Here's Garzon, a lot of space. She drains it. And their win against Purdue, that's what they want from the get-go, her hunting her own shots. Here's McMahon, decides against it. Petty tries to split defenders. Cambridge, 1 dribble pull-up, no. Ball up for grabs, it's McMahon into the lane. More McNeil looking into the paint, trying to get a touch to Stripling, so they move it around the perimeter. Threading the needle, excellent playmaking, Chesky into Stripling.
And this is exactly what the Hoosiers worked on. Just anytime a player driving, getting the ball, Ohio State, they're so aggressive. They like to collapse in on a player, and I love that easy drop-down pass. There was no help side there.
Team starting to look more settled into the half court now. There's a long 2, drained by Cambridge. Indiana back on the offensive end, 7 of 8 from the field. They go deep inside. You can't stop a post-up back deep. The way she talks, works things out with her teammates. Skip pass to McMahon, patient through that pick and roll, 5 to shoot. The pick and pop to Theory, has to go one-on-one. McMahon has to put it up, and it just brings his front eye.
The way that the Hoosiers are collapsing in on the gaps, closing in the paint, is being very disruptive defensively for Ohio State.
Maybe for the first time today, slowing things down here in the half court. More McNeil going to reset. Wide open is Parrish. Perfect! For the Indiana Hoosiers against this fast-paced Buckeye team. Looking underneath, it's picked off and stolen. McMahon was trying to force it inside their second turnover.
And they have so much length, so with their arms up, they cause so much disruption. That's what got the steal there, is the length and having their arms up on defense.
Alexis Bargesser, new into the game. Rifling it inside to Meister, using every bit of that pivot, but she'll misfire inside.
And in that possession alone, Ohio State, great adjustment.
A quick response on the other end.
She's a player that can shoot at Sloan, so I think it's just one of those things she needs to see it in and see it through, and she can get hot. And this is exactly what I wanted to see from Yarden
Garzon at the free throw line. This season she's shooting 88%. And she does complete the three-point play. The drive and kick snaking along the baseline. Taylor Fury will leave that short, and Indiana off to the races again. More McNeil, the heads-up pass. Parrish now putting it on the deck. And she is fouled. She missed 5 games in late November with an injury, and she said, you know, maybe a little faster tonight. And that was the goal, and moving on.
That you have it on to kind of favor that injury.
Green, their steady leader. 5 seconds left. Fury stopping on a dime. It's Green weaving into the paint, throws it up. And Indiana with the stop, letting out a roar is Chloe Moore McNeil. 10,000 per game. This is a special place, but a hard place for any opponent who comes in.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we already saw the play when Taylor Theory tipped the ball, and literally the reverse happened because the crowd. I think the crowd literally made the refs so nervous that they switched the call. But I remember even playing in this arena, Sloan. It has always been a tough place to play. You talk about the dimension of the way the arena is. They will always seem like they have a crowd, and tonight they have a really good one.
One of the best fan bases in the country as Indiana turns it over. Taylor Fury going coast to coast, so smooth. Breaking through that full court press. That's what ignited their offense to begin this game. Caroline Strickland getting a look inside, can't convert.
And I can't complain about that. I love that look with the veteranship going up against a freshman in the paint. I expect them to continue to go and see that look and see what it can open up.
Coach McDuff has a lot of confidence, though, in Elsa Lemila on the defensive end. Ebony Walker has seen sparing minutes recently for Hannah Sandy. Shakeshevsky, ball in her hands, will give it up to Moore McNeil. 1 second to shoot. They won't get it off in time. Green, the steadying force for this team. Jelani Cambridge not in the game right now. The backup point guard sometimes sharing time on the floor together. Here's Cody McMahon dialing up and canning a three. This crowd growing increasingly silent as Parrish stopped in the paint. McMahon, hand in the passing lane, one-on-one, and she's going to win that battle to the rim. Timeout called by Coach Morin. Ohio State 16th in the nation, scoring 22 points off turnovers, but Indiana handling it now. And right out of the timeout, man taking her time now. Downhill is Green, she'll drive and kick. Fury now between 2 defenders. A circus shot will not fall and brought down by Garzon.
But I love Ohio State. They've got to continue to be aggressive in their attack downhill, find a way into the paint, because Indiana is playing all in the paint, and you don't want to get spread out and force those outside shots.
Wide open in the corner, Shakeshevsky, she's got it from 3.
Be open every single time, so those players got to be ready to shoot, Sloan.
Shakeshevsky 16 points against Purdue. Here's Jelani Cambridge. It's been quiet here in the second quarter, misfires from 3.
Ohio State's got to get their action from inside the three-point line. So set screens, exchanges, handoffs, anything that they're doing needs to be inside the three-point line.
They find Loman.
Bumped on the face as she's cutting to the basket.
Staying in the game here after taking that shot. She has 10 to shoot, poked away by Moore McNeil. A little bit chaotic here for Ohio State. Jelani Cambridge, couple dribble pull-up, she's got it.
Everyone's helping, doing a collective effort, I'll say, on the defensive end.
Calling card, Terry Morin is defense. Here is Lamandola lining up the three. Look inside. Petty trying to direct traffic. The ball's stagnant right now, opposite of what we've seen from Indiana in the half court. Petty will go to work. Parrish pounces. 4.7 seconds.
Parrish hitting it off, but disagreed there.
Petty backing down. Quick swing. A dangerous one by Cambridge. She didn't know. You play through the whistle. Shea Chesky will take it all the way. She's 5'7", but she is tough and fearless. McMahon trying to get downhill, met by a lot of white jerseys. Gray will do the same. It's taken away. Garzon with the steal. This Indiana defense, absolutely stifling. They're executing on all cylinders, and they're playing with that length, packing it in the paint, just making everything difficult for the Buckeyes. Tight defense by Jelani Cambridge. More McNeil going to reset up this offense. 2 seconds left for Parrish, darting to the rim. It was blocked, but a whistle. That'll be the first on Petty. Taylor Theory has 2, but she hasn't sat much, if at all, in the second quarter. A high level of trust. Got a lot of veterans on both sides. They haven't really missed a beat despite that early foul trouble. Shot clock is off. Jelani Cambridge turns it over, steps out of bounds. Garzon, the inbounder, with the full court pressure that Indiana has handled with aplomb today. More McNeil will do it single-handedly, but be whistled for the offensive foul. Jelani sold it very well, too. Terry Warren trying to make her case. Here's Jelani Cambridge, a little too strong, but Indiana. This is exactly where Indiana's been able to make their money. Taylor Theory, you see, helping on the roller. So her man, Garzon, in the corner open every time. Have another look at it. You have Strickland rolling. Taylor Theory had to take care of it. Guess who's open? The man that she's coming off, and that was Parrish that time. This has worked every single time. The throwback. You talk about poise, IQ. That is exactly what the Hoosiers have, and they've completely punished Ohio State on that ball screen defense. Now we are ready to start this third quarter, and that's exactly what Terry Morin talked to us about today at Shoot-Around, looking to exploit that exact kind of play. Zone back to work, 10 to shoot. Jelani Cambridge sizing it up, giving it up to Taylor Theory. 5 now to shoot, tapped away by Garzon. She's doing a great job reading and deflecting, taking that drop pass away. Being incredibly active defensively. Jelani Cambridge sets herself up and splashes home the 3 to start off the third quarter. More McNeil takes off to the rim. Loses it or was poked away. For the freshman, she's shooting it, knocking it every single time. Shea Chesky, they go under the screen. Can't capitalize there. Ohio State a little bit out of sorts here to start. Asia Petty for the free throw line. That's no good. Choppy start offensively for both of these teams in the first 2 minutes. Behind the defense is Garzon. Backing down against Theory. Here's Strickland for the free throw line. Drains it. And that's the versatility I'm talking about with Strickland. Just her ability to back people down in the paint. Great look for Chance Gray. Can't knock it down. And one and done there for the Buckeyes. And more McNeil. It's going to slow things down. Haven't seen much of that in this game. A frenetic pace from the beginning. You wouldn't know Ohio State's been playing in back-to-back overtime games. McMahon has played at least 43 minutes in back-to-back contests. Garzon threading the needle. More brilliant offense. Setting back screen, and that's just a great read from Garzon, getting it to her. Strickland, the second Hoosier in double figures behind Parrish's 13. There's Petty, an elegant move in the lane. And that's what I need to see from Petty, because she's so good. She has such great footwork that's honestly underrated when it comes from the way she works in the stretch 4 position. So I want to see more from her offensively. Averaged a double-double at Kentucky last year in the SEC. Coach McDuff telling us today, just trying to reignite that consistency from her. That 30 will fall. A little perplexed at the call, just like Chesky is. Madison Green finds an opening against the zone. Working through Strickland at the high post, approaching the midway point of this third quarter. Underneath, Wall McNeil behind the defense, untouched for the lane.
So many ways that the Hoosiers, there's so much ball movement and so much going on in their offense, specifically off the ball. There are always going to be a breakdown. They do such a great job taking advantage of it.
Jelani Cambridge can't answer. The defensive rebound goes to Indiana, something that they're also putting a lot of focus on here down the stretch to improve. Parrish completely wide open. She's got another. Threes, they're normally hitting 5 against Big Ten competition, but they have not been able to really click together. And there's a
moving screen call there from the ref.
Zone getting it over. Indiana has dealt so well with this full court pressure, and it opens up opportunities at the rim. Shea Chesky taking advantage.
All these teams need to lock in when they do their film session on the Hoosiers and the way they've been able to break this press every single time with the throwover. Once you get over those first 2 lines, you have the advantage, and the Hoosiers are absolutely taking advantage of that when you talk about that last line defense.
Indiana is still shooting 60% as a team. Yes, they are getting opportunities like we just saw with Chesky, but they're also 7 of 11 from beyond the arc. Garzon, Parrish, Chesky, Strickland, Moore, McNeil, when they are all contributing, good things happen. Jelani Cambridge in the passing lane will take it herself for an easy 2. 5 seconds left for Garzon. Will swing it in the corner. Chesky, yes! It's been that kind of night for Indiana. Their 8th 3 of this game. When they were out-rebounded by USC 62-30 just a couple games ago, Coach McGuff says, we have to show more toughness and fight on the glass. It's not just the post players, Kiki Iriafen, Brigham Marshall, but it is a collective effort. We're seeing that again here with Indiana doing the work on the boards with the steal. Madison Green, a steadying force, this time barreling to the rim, and she is fouled. So you have Taylor Theory basically playing the 5, number 2, being guarded by Caroline Strickland. Green, one-on-one, goes right into the chest of Chesky, and it's going to go the other way. Chesky, a strong defensive stop there.
Yeah, it's great defense. Look at the movement by Chesky. And it's a great wall up, and yeah, off of Green there on the tip. It's a great call.
Garzon just getting it over. Strickland, her heels were close to that line.
Yeah, that foot didn't go all the way down.
This Indiana team shooting 56% for this game. They have 8 threes as well, right about their season average. And a wedgie. Love to see that.
Nothing like a good old wedgie.
One of the best shooting teams in the country, and it happens to everybody.
Yeah. Great job, Taylor Theory, pulling it out. Pulling the wedgie out.
McMahon sets herself up for the mid-range
in their press defense, being able to play out of it.
Under 10 to shoot for Garzon, being pressured near the half-court line, looking for some help. It's up for grabs. Bargesser with 3 seconds left, dropping it off. Strickland was stripped. Strickland, no Buckeye with 3 personals. Strickland 1 for 2. And putting the ball in the hands of Madison Green, having the freshman Cambridge play off ball. McMahon wants it in the post against Lamandola. She's surrounded. Cambridge getting downhill, a wild take, and she finishes. Garzon, the inbounder, just gets it in to Chesky.
Here comes the shot.
Chesky will swing. Bargesser along the baseline. She stepped out of bounds. Cambridge getting the step, was stopped by Strickland, standing her ground, and a technical is called.
Yeah, he was going crazy. Coach was losing his mind there. on the bench with the Jelani Cambridge attack. He thought that there was a foul there.
It is going to go on Coach McGuff. Carla Morrow, his associate head coach, trying to pull him back to the bench.
We'll have another look there. And I thought that was a clean look. That's a great defensive possession. Great wall up from Stripling.
So Chesky at the free throw line. And you wonder too, Asia, certainly he may have qualms about the calls that he's seen, but maybe also trying to light a fire under his team too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ohio State 11-3. And Big Ten play is Chesky. Stripling working from the perimeter. Backdoor cut by Parrish they had, but it will be an offensive foul. Chesky and Moore McNeil, two starters, the starting backcourt with 4 personals apiece.
There was a lot of calls on the moving screen. They got out there with a little too much movement there, trying to carve out some space.
Chance Gray doesn't hit anything. Broken up, a foul on Garzon. Jelani Cambridge was pulled down to the floor. She's a little bit slow to get to her feet, and she's going to the bench. She immediately made her way toward the tunnel and left the court, a towel to her face. Madison Green no good on the first free throw, but Indiana meanwhile has its starting backcourt with 4 personal fouls, and Moore McNeil and Chesky. Garzon,
you play defense, you kind of let off a little bit. So I'm attacking every single time because it's either going to be an Olay or it's going to be another foul.
Ebony Walker checks back into the game, seeing meaningful minutes in this contest. Theory will drive and kick. McMahon, full head of steam to the rim. Count it!
The best player on this team when it comes to getting that shoulder down in her attack downhill, and this is the difference between this call and a call where she'll get an offensive charge. Her body control is so much better on that attack.
Coach McGuff says she is at her best when she's being aggressive but in control. An illustration right there on that three-point play opportunity.
Jelani Cambridge, it's good to see her going back to the scoring table to shove in.
Stripling being guarded by Walker. Moore McNeil wants it in the post against Green. It's stolen away by Walker. Splitting defenders, taking it all the way.
And that depth, that's what's going to be so key. The depth and being ready in the late season. That's what separates teams in this league.
And that's what McMahon told us today. We're going to unlock our potential in every piece. We are getting the most out of them. We're seeing that today. There's Chesky right to the rim. She has been outstanding. Theory behind the back, loses the handle. Green finds herself open from 3. She drains it. Looking to hold off the Buckeyes, the number 8 team in the country. A win today for Indiana would be their highest ranked win this season. A all-important quad 1 win.
I love the way that the referee sampled it. She just gave the same sample, showed the drag to Chloe.
Taylor Theory, long 2, one of the most efficient players in the conference, as Garzon takes a spill. Shea Chesky back to shoot coming into this game. 49 of 51 from the line this season.
And you just saw there J.C. Sheldon talking to Cody McMahon, Sloan. Cody McMahon told us that J.C. calms her down.
And if it wasn't for her, quote, I would have lost my mind this season.
Exactly. Well timed. You saw Cody getting frustrated. We saw that flagrant call.
Still a 13-point lead for Indiana. 2:30 to play. Here comes that hard hedge. Parrish looking inside. Buckeyes recover. Stripling has a big mismatch against the 5'7" Cambridge. She's kicked out of the paint. Here's Garzon floating inside. Brown feeling like victory, inching ever closer. Jelani Cambridge, the spin move. She's fouled. And will try to close and maintain this cushion in the final 2 minutes without their 5th-year point guard. She goes 1 for 2, hit multiple clutch free throws against Iowa. A flurry of pressure from Ohio State. Lexus Bargesser checking in for more. McNeil threading through the defense. The trailer, yes! Garzon and the Hoosiers say night-night. After that, too, gave a little wave goodbye to the Ohio State bench. You know how much these games down the stretch came against the #1 team in the country in UCLA back on February 5th. That was 52 points. What a statement this is by Indiana. And they have been trying to harness any kind of consistency. Coach Morin said recently, we've seen moments like the Nebraska win. We're trending in the right direction. So in multiple ways, Asia, you're right. The Hoosiers have been able to execute.
I mean, there's always something to learn from these games, but overall, there's not too much that I can say that I find where they lagged in this game. That is the Hoosiers. I mean, they're getting it done on both ends of the floor in terms of their execution.
And when it came to this inconsistency that Coach Morin was seeing, she said the most disappointing thing about it is that it was coming from our veterans. We should know how to close games, like against Michigan 2 games ago. That slipped away from us in Ann Arbor. As Chesky will travel back to Ohio State, 1:12 on the clock. But in this game, we saw those veterans really turn it on. All in double figures. More McNeil at 7 before she fouled out of this contest. McMahon dropping it down into Theory. Smartly pokes it out and gets the assist. Kennedy Cambridge. No whistle there. And Indiana trying to hold on to possession here. All-out effort. Kennedy Cambridge, no surprise, coming up as a spark plug. 9 seconds separating shot and game clock. To the rim goes Madison Green. And it is a 10-point game. To see if they can cut into this deficit, time not on their side. Chesky gets it up ahead to Parrish, and she will calmly cross half court. And that thrown to no one, to Jessie Dickerson, and it's Ohio State basketball. They can make this a single-digit deficit. Here is Cambridge leaving it short from 3. Theory, though, cleaning up the glass. 14 seconds left. Might be too little too late for the Buckeyes, who trying to storm from behind. So Chesky, an excellent free throw shooter at the line. Ohio State trying to make it interesting, but it was all Indiana from the tip here at home. They will get their highest ranked win of the season and defeat #8 Ohio State. A statement late February victory.